Welcome to Tequila Talk Tuesday. And you guys all know the drill. I'm just gonna add Jenna here. And off we go. Hey!
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you? Oh my gosh, my phone is like vibrating out of control right now.
That's awesome. Oh, I'm so short today. Hold on.
I know. I
There we
like
go.
don't know, but how are you? How was the rest of your day?
It was really good. I got a bunch of stuff like prepped for this like fitness challenge that I'm starting today, which I'm very excited about. And then yeah, like just did a film, tried to film some like lash tutorial. It was a fail. It was a fail on all proportions.
You like my
What are you
straw
drinking?
today?
What are you drinking today?
Um, okay, well, two things. I tried the reposado and I had it on ice, which was nice.
Mhm.
And then I just added a little bit of Coke. Nothing too crazy today, but
I was gonna do the same thing. I was just gonna be like, well, both of it. Well, I mean, I love that you and me were like on the same page because both of us are just like, this is how we show up for our businesses sometimes.
yeah.
It just happens. But instead, I made this.
That looks so good. Mine looks
It's
like dirt. And like, what is this?
it's the most random concoction though, Jenna. Like I was like, okay, I want tequila, and ooh, there's a banana here, and oh my gosh, we have coconut milk, and I have frozen pineapple, and I just like blended it all together and came up with this.
Oh my
So
gosh, yum. Yum.
I made it. Ooh, I made it into like, ooh,
Is that a good? Or
yeah, that's funny. Into like a blended drink. So like one like a pina colada consistency. So it's really thick. It's like a
is it
milkshake.
good?
Yeah, it's good.
That's good.
And I
Yeah.
I ripped it with coconut shavings because I was trying to be all fancy.
Oh my gosh,
But
it's so cute. Okay, I'm gonna step up my game next week because
I just I honestly was just gonna do tequila and Monster, to be honest with you. And then I saw all the things and went, oh, I'm just kidding.
oh, I love it.
Um,
Well, what I did this up until like just I should maybe show it. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I started after and Amber and I registered for the Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi Own Your Future challenge. It's for the next 5 days. And I like how it's like, oh yeah, it's just an hour. It was like 3 hours today.
It was 2 hours and 45 minutes. I looked at the clock. I was like, I got stuff to do. But
I
Tony,
know.
I love Tony. Like he just like that last part that he did was just like
I like almost cried a little bit. It was
I did cry.
yeah,
I
it was
did cry.
amazing.
Absolutely.
It was amazing. So I like went to Staples and got all these like poster boards, and
Yay.
I have put up all my goals and yeah, non-negotiables and yeah,
Are you making a vision board?
yeah. It's actually I bet I could turn this around. Can you see my vision boards and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I was doing all my vision boards I made last the first lockdown. So the third I did a verbal one.
I need to update my vision board. That's what we should. That's an episode we should do. We should talk about vision boards and what and like because I love vision boards. I have a virtual one and I need to upgrade my other one, but I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. I
So,
like actually writing down everything, and that was kind of one of the things that they talked about in the challenge was like actually writing down specifically what your goals are and what you
yeah,
can like what are two action items that you can literally start today. So yeah, so
yeah.
that was one of my things was to actually go into depth about each category of my life and write down the goals and because I have the time right now to do it. So
I felt so like I know we talk about alignment a lot, but like I literally felt so aligned today because Well, I talked to you about my epiphany that I had over the weekend, and then this challenge was starting. Plus, I'm starting my fitness challenge today. Plus, I'm doing another. I don't know how I'm going to fit this in tomorrow, but I'm supposed to be doing another training tomorrow for Etsy. I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link to that one as well if you want to do it. But like, it's supposed to be at noon. I don't even know how I'm going to do that. I'll figure it out. But um, I just felt like so I'm after you and I after you and I talked and stuff, I was sitting on the floor of my studio and I was printing out a bunch of stuff for this fitness challenge that I'm doing, and I was listening to the Tony Robbins stuff, and it was just like, and he was just like, like when he brought up like the two actions that you could do to move forward in your goals or whatever, personal or but, and I literally looked around at all my fitness stuff, and I'm like, I'm doing it. Like it was so cool. It was just such a like, I don't even know. Like, okay, so you guys, I had a come to Jesus moment over the weekend about like me personally and me why I keep like self-sabotaging myself and why I go on these like roller coasters of confidence and the limiting beliefs that I had. And it was just like it was seriously like a come to Jesus moment. Just me realizing the stuff that I have that's been ingrained in me since I was like 4. And I talked to my mom about it too, and like both of us just really discussed it at length. And it was just this like weight lifted. I feel so much more motivated and so much more not that I'm not scared, but like I'm not scared to go out and like try something new and without being judged, because I honestly could give two flying fucks at this point, like genuinely down to my core I actually believe that. And it's just it was just a very freeing moment. And then having this training today, and then Tony Robbins talking about limiting beliefs and talking about working through them and writing down what's stopping you and fear and ego and all this stuff. It was a really, and then like us showing up like this today, like no makeup, just like both of us. I just that you literally blew my mind, because I was in the bathroom putting my hair up and like looking at myself, and I'm like, I'm not putting makeup on today. I don't feel like it. I have done so much for my business today. I have shown up for myself and me and my goals. I'm good. And then you texted me like 2 seconds later and was like, I'm just going to show up like that. I'm like, the alignment today, the alignment. It was phenomenal. I loved it.
Yeah,
And
and
then I,
speaking to that, I don't know if you watched to the end, but Jenna Kutcher came on.
Mhm.
One of the things that she said was, and we have actually talked about this before. I don't know if we said it on here, but the imposter syndrome, the like, who am I
yeah.
to be doing this, to be doing these weekly things where I feel like I'm trying to share and educate and share what I've learned. And she had
Mhm.
said, she's like, who am I not to do these things? And
Yeah.
so that was like a big one for me. And they said at the end of every day they're going to have like a challenge for everyone, part of this Tony Robbins thing. And the challenge today was to go into the Facebook group and post like a live video of you talking about your old beliefs and your new beliefs, and how your old beliefs were really like really stopping you from like progressing and going forward, and now like leaving those behind and focusing on your new beliefs, how that is going to change your life and what you're going to be able to do and create and to make and to live. And yeah, that was like a huge one for me.
Yeah. Well, and like Tony Robbins said it. He said beliefs can make you successful, but beliefs can hold you back. Like it just depends on what you do. And yeah, I watched Jenna Kutcher's thing too, and like my favorite thing that she said throughout that entire thing, and I wrote it down and I literally underlined it like 4 times, is starting is messy.
Yeah.
Start anyway. And I'm like, I love that. And
And
then but
what
sorry,
did
go.
what did they say about turning your mess into your message?
Dean,
Yeah.
yeah, Dean said that too, and I wrote that down too, and I underlined it. It was like make your mess your message, and because there are so many people, and I really love the fact that you and I are just. I mean, I've been in the self education, online education game for a while now, but I still have imposter syndrome. I still get those fears. I still get the comparison. I still do the comparisons, and I still get the who am I? I haven't been doing this long enough, and who's going to listen to me and all this stuff. And it's definitely been like Jenna said, a daily choice to make sure that my mindset is like on point and what I'm delivering to people is the best of what I can deliver. And it's just being confident in that. And I think that like both of us have talked about getting more into like the teaching entrepreneurial space, like being able to help other business owners. And I honestly felt like, well, I haven't been in business long enough. I don't know how to do this. However, I have successfully started a business. I have successfully built a clientele. I have successfully launched online programs. You know what I mean? And it's just like you said, I think it was last episode, talking about literally writing a resume of everything that you've done in your life and taking a look at it and seeing how impressive it is. And I may or may not have done that last Thursday, like Thursday or Friday. And I just looked at myself and I was like, why? I just don't, and this was after I had my epiphany, obviously, but because before I was just too emotional and scared and all the excuses. And then after that, I just wrote it. I wrote it out, and it was so empowering to see all of the things, obscure or not, the things that I have accomplished and the things that I have to offer. And it was amazing. And then today was just like a testament to that. And I'm so proud of you for going live in the group, because I thought of, I don't know, like I kind of had this thought, was like, well, I've already had my limiting belief epiphany moment, so I don't need to do it. And then you texted me and said that you were gonna do it, and I was like, well, I kind of want to talk about it on Tequila Talk Tuesday though too, and what our limiting beliefs, how our limiting beliefs like hold us back, and what our new beliefs are, because I think that would be so empowering for people.
Totally, totally. And I like just touching on well, I guess it's kind of related to the beliefs, kind of not, but one of the things that I just want to say before we do really dive into that is, and I listen to podcasts all the time, and there's this one podcast that I listen to, his name is Jimmy Rex. He's a realtor based out of Utah, but he's gone to a ton of Tony Robbins events and like talks about him, refers to him all the time. And one of the things that Tony just very briefly like touched on today was your daily actions and what you can do in your daily actions to get you moving forward. And when you seriously like sit down and write out what you're doing in a day, like if you are watching 2 or 3 hours of Netflix every day, but yet you're saying that you don't have time to go to the gym, or you don't have time to take your dogs out for a walk, or, if you literally write it down, and if all you do in a day is wake up and go to work and come home, you for sure have time to do these things. It's just it's like limiting belief that you don't have the time. And once you make a list of the things that you want to accomplish and want to do, and the things that you have to adjust in your daily routine to actually do them, then your mind is going to start creating ways to get that shit done. And that, I don't know, he worded it obviously way better than I did, but it's just addressing your daily actions and figuring out, like, record it even for a week just to see what it is you're doing, and figure out the ones that are, if you're having maybe a drink every week, find out the things that, if you're eating junk food on the weekends, like things that could be contributing to, maybe you're not succeeding in the health department like you would. And once you look at it, then you'll be able to address why you're actually not progressing in the ways that you want to.
Well, and Tony's like, I've followed Tony for a really long time, and I think he's nuts, and I love him. I love his energy. He's so infectious. And what he said that really, that is in line with this, is that people tell him that like, oh, I've just found that like I have no motivation, I'm just lazy. And Tony goes, no, you're not lazy. Your goals just aren't exciting. You're not excited about your goals and where you're going. Get excited.
Time frame. They don't have a time frame.
Or they don't have a time frame, and you don't have, it's like, what did he say? He said, you need to know what you want and why, and that will equal out to the how. Whereas most people try to figure out the how before they figure out why or what they want and why they're going after it. And I'm so grateful that I was actually, and by default was able to figure out my my wants and my whys, and then everything kind of fell into place. I didn't want to quit my corporate job. I was terrified. I mean, I wanted to quit my corporate job, but I was also terrified of not having that guaranteed salary. Yeah, and then it just got to the point where it was just like, no, like it's too much, it's too stressful, and is me being stressed and worried really worth staying in a job where I get an income, yeah, a stable income, but I'm not happy and I'm stressed out and my marriage is failing? Probs not. So I quit, and then when I quit, I literally had no choice but to make it work. Didn't matter how, I just had to figure it out. And I love that he kind of forces you to look at your situation and say, if you are still trying to figure out the how of things are going to work, you're never going to get there. You have to figure out why you want to do what you want to do and make it exciting for yourself and remember your reasons why. That's why the cliche of saying remember your why, like every coach on the face of the planet says remember your why, but this is literally why this is out there. You need to be excited about what you're doing or you're never going to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And once you can, and he talks about it lots about like actually visualizing it. And it is like it's a factual thing that if you visualize something, it tricks your brain into thinking that it actually, has happened.
Your brain doesn't know the difference between between touching and being physical, or than what's in your brain. As long as you're experiencing those feelings, it doesn't know the difference.
Yeah, and that's where it's just like looking at even though like the last 2 years, like everything that has kind of come to be in my life, it's honestly insane because I really wanted to write down like very, very specific of my goals because that's what everyone tells you to do is you have to be so specific, you have to write it down, blah, 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 blah. And I was kind of lost in this like specifics of it. Like I knew the big picture and what I wanted to do, but I wasn't quite sure how I was going to get there. But I just thought about it all the time and everything that's happened in the last 2 years, me moving to Calgary, like on a freaking, like we seriously decided within a week, like all these things, like me opening up my own salon and now like my newest adventure, like having my salon and also getting into real estate, like everything that's just kind of fallen into place. I think it's because you're so mentally, you're aware of what you want to do and the how kind of just starts appearing. And then you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to grab onto that. I'm going to grab onto that. And all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, look where I am. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that's a coincidence.
I think most people, there's a lot of people that really get caught up in these being too specific about their goals. Almost like, you see entrepreneurs out there that want to have a $10,000 month. Well, if they don't hit the $10,000 month, but they've made 6,000, they get really discouraged. Oh, I didn't manifest what I wanted to manifest. I honestly believe that when people start writing down the specifics of their goal, which they can get lost in, because they're writing down specifics, they're more tapping into the energy and the feeling of achieving those goals. And so I think when it comes down to writing down a specific part of it, how do you want to feel at the end of it? How do you want to feel when that's accomplished? How do you want to feel when you have time freedom and financial freedom and you can walk into Christian Louboutin and buy 3 pairs of Kate, like whatever the short Kate, she Kate, whatever Kate. You know what I mean? Like how are you gonna feel when that happens? How are you gonna feel when you can apply for a mortgage and know instantly that you're gonna get approved because you have the stable the income to be able to do it? I feel like that's more important than getting specific, saying I want to reach 10K months within 3 months. I feel like that almost sets you up for disappointment and failure if it doesn't happen within 3 months. And then when people actually do get to that, we're almost ending the 3 months and we're not getting at that 10K, they almost go into into burnout mode. They try to overcompensate. They still don't have that trust where it's just like the feeling and just keep feeling the feelings of accomplishing those. Like I feel like that's what works for me specifically, because when I get too specific and I don't reach it in a certain amount of time, I get discouraged for sure.
Yeah, and that's totally the why. The why, it's always going to be based off of feelings and emotions. And even though like I knew that, I've never actually written that down. I thought about it for sure. But so on my little bulletin board it says why are these goals a must? And I've highlighted each category, my financial goals, my personal goals, my professional goal, like everything, and
Yeah.
what I'm going to feel when I actually achieve that. And
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see how this next year goes.
I think that if we can just keep feeling like for like when Tony Robbins asked us like it during the training to imagine and feel something that you're particularly proud of, to keep, well, my kids obviously came to mind, but to keep a Talk Tuesdays came to mind, and the fact that I've been able to take more leaps forward in my business on the self-education side in the last year and a half than I ever thought possible. Like that was something I was super, super proud of. And it may seem like such a small thing. Like we're 6 episodes in, 7, 7,
Six.
6.
Yeah, let Cinco de Mayo
Yep.
was just last one.
The days all blend
That was
together.
only a week ago.
Yeah. Um, yeah, we're 6 episodes in, and I feel like I still have the feelings that this is going to be a monumental success. And to me, it already is successful because I've had a couple people reach out to me and tell me that they're super inspired, and one person said commented and said, who knew having a tequila on Tuesday would be so much fun, and like the feedback has been phenomenal, and even if it's only from a couple of people, that still in itself feels so successful to me, and it was something that I'm particularly proud of. So I think if we can find pride and gratitude and celebrate even the little wins, and again, you hear this a lot, celebrate your little wins, but it doesn't really like dawn on you and click until you're like put in the situation where you have to think about things that you're proud of regardless of how small they are. And I mean, opening your salon must have been huge. It must have been a huge, prideful moment for you. But I also know that like you are very proud of, your templates that you make. I mean, and those are minuscule compared to opening your own salon, but you're still so proud of those. And I think that those moments are just as important as the big, proud moments as well.
Totally.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. And it's something that it's so easy to get wrapped up in the day-to-day stuff and the grind, and to, kind of forget your why and forget everything that you have accomplished so far. But yeah, it comes to days that you just have to do it. And it is really funny because I don't know, like in our industries, like I do care what people think about me. I do care how people perceive me. But
it's because we're client based, and that there has to be some sort of presentation on our end. Yep.
For sure. And that's when like all the new things that I've started doing, I'm always a little bit hesitant about it. But like not once has anyone, like all the stories that I'm telling myself of like, oh, what if they say this? What if they think this? Blah, blah, blah. It's not happened once. And if it's like kind of happened, it's usually from like a friend who is not really a friend and is just being a shitty human being. And I can be like, you're lame.
I think also you present yourself in such an authentic way too, that like you show up authentically as yourself, that even if people are like I think if people are talking crap or being ridiculous, you've shown up as your authentic self, so you can be proud of the fact that you've shown up as your authentic self and really just not care. You know what I mean? Like, that what you're doing and what you're contributing to your niche and your industry is valuable. So fuck anybody else who thinks different.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly. God, since I had this like come to Jesus moment, I mean, I don't even know, is that even a thing? I didn't find religion, you guys. I grew up religious, so that's not a thing. But this like epiphany that I had, I just feel a lot more like freeing. So if I sound a little bit callous and crass, I apologize.
Crass. I like
My
that.
word of the day. It's my word of the day.
I
Um,
So
yeah.
I do want to bring up, we've been talking about Etsy. We kind of like dropped it a couple times. Amber, tell us about your freaking templates. You made your first sale, didn't you? Nice.
Two. I've sold 3 templates in 2 orders. Yeah, so I've been really nervous. Again, like same thing, like fear, jumping into fear. I was really nervous about releasing any of my digital content because, again, like imposter syndrome, not knowing if it's good enough or anything like that. But you inspired me to look into opening an Etsy shop and just, I have all the information. I know what I'm looking for when it comes to, and I know what it takes to run a successful lash business. So I put these templates together and I launched it with absolutely no knowledge and kind of like fumbled my way through it. And I woke up the next morning and I had sold 2 templates. It was phenomenal. And I was like over the moon. It was $5.70. But I was so excited. I was so excited. Yeah, so like Etsy's like my Etsy shop is like Lash Queen Empire on Etsy, and it's just like client care cards and consent forms, COVID regulations because those are a thing. Yeah, and they're super cute, and I have them in 3 different colors. So, go buy a template.
So go check them out.
Yeah. Well, I know that you're starting to do like branding templates too, which I'm excited to see because your work is like flawless. I love all your stuff that you've created. Like even the Tequila Talk Tuesday thing you threw together in like 15 minutes. I was like, I love it.
Oh, thank you. It was so funny for Mother's Day. My best friend just had her first baby, and I was
Aww.
like, frick, I was like, oh, like the day before, I was like, shit, it's Mother's Day. I was like, oh my God, it's her first Mother's Day. I need to do something. And so yeah, I went on Canva and created some cute little coupons, and I did this little like newsletter, which gave me a really good idea. And I think I'm going to do it every year for her. I think it'll be cool. But it was like volume 1, issue 1. And then, it was for her daughter, Vienna. And I kind of feel like each year with Vienna, it'll be, the next issue. But then once she has her second baby, it'll be volume 2. And I'm just like little things like that. So I'm like, I'll use my talents in that regard. And even though I wasn't physically there, at least there was something cute and thoughtful.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So, and then I did some cheesy coupons for like babysitting and stuff.
Aw, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it doesn't matter, like, it doesn't matter what what you're talented in, as long as you keep using them. Like, I was, not everybody knows this about me, but I'm trilingual. I don't sound it, I don't look it, but, like, I think it's a real shame that I haven't used any of my other languages in such a long time, and I just recently started getting back into it and refreshing up on all my Russian and my American Sign Language, which is really cool. So like I've been practicing that. I think if you're talented in anything, just use it. Just use it. Doesn't matter what it's for.
I saw a reel, and it was this guy. He was like doing the reel, but he was doing sign language, and I was like, Amber, did I send it to you? Actually,
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Maybe I didn't, but I was like, oh my God, Amber needs to do this.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I don't even think about those type of things because it's just something so. Oh, so okay. So we're gonna tie this right back into Tony Robbins. Okay, because what I was gonna say is that I don't think about doing things like that because they come so second nature to me that it's just it's something that I overlook. And entrepreneurs, this is what Tony Robbins said. Sometimes you think, oh no, maybe it was Jenna who said this, but you think that things are just so commonplace. And so like everybody should know this. I know this. So why doesn't everybody know this? I don't need to share this. I don't need to teach this because everybody should know it. And that's literally not the case. Not everybody knows what you know. Not everybody is going to bring to the table. Oh wait, sorry, that was my son. not everybody's going to bring to the table what you can bring and your experience and what you've gone through and your mess turned into message is going to be totally unique from anybody out there. And so, yeah, like even the sign language thing, me overlooking it, like I never would have thought to turn it into a reel. It's just not something that I've ever thought of because it's just something I do naturally. And I think that having that experience just makes me so much more well-rounded. And again, writing that resume that you suggested was just it was an eye-opener to me. Hi, go away.
I like that you can hear his little giggle.
So ridiculous.
Love it.
Anybody with a 5-year-old?
For sale. For sale.
No, I'll pay you.
That's awesome. Well, maybe we should leave this one. Oh, whoops, I dropped my notebook. Maybe we should leave this episode on, maybe telling people if they are feeling like starting something new or they're feeling insecure about things or lacking confidence, maybe go down and write out your resume. Write down everything that you've accomplished ever in life and write it from the perspective of someone else. And then get someone that you care about to read it out so that it's not you reading it and you listen to them and hear how cool it is and everything that you've accomplished. And I think it could go a long way. And just right now during these times, some people might need the little pick-me-up and focus on the good that you've done.
And it doesn't matter how small, obscure, or, I mean, it could be, okay, so here's my obscure goal that I'm working towards the splits.
Nice.
I've never been able to do the splits, but that is a goal. And once I get there, I'm going to be so friggin' proud. So even little things that you've accomplished like that, write it down. Things that you're absolutely proud of, like going a whole year with making your bed every day. Obscure, but very proud. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to be huge accomplishments. Just remembering that you, sorry?
Oh yeah. I was going to say one of mine was flossing.
Yeah. But like, but you look back on that and be like, personal care. I was dedicated to taking care of my teeth for an entire year. Who can say that? Like, really? But that's what I mean. Like, it's just such an obscure fact and such an obscure thing to be proud of but it's absolutely important to making
the little wins add up. They do.
Yeah. 100%. So challenge, you guys, okay, for the lovely humans that stayed with us. Our challenge to you is to write down absolutely anything and everything that you can think of that you are 100% proud of. From, being in your first dance recital when you were 4 up to, starting your own business or getting that promotion or how hard you worked. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Just write down exactly what you're proud of. And get somebody to read it. Just like Jenna said, get somebody to read it to you.
Or send it to us, DM it to us, and I will record myself reading it and send it to you and talk about it. I would 100% do that.
We want to get to the point where we can shout out other people, other entrepreneurs, other businesses, and be like, make other people aware that there are other people around us that are just as accomplished and that we're proud of. So write down your stuff, you guys. Write down your stuff.
And send it to us. That would be super nice. I'd love to read that. And check out Amber's Etsy shop, Lash Queen Empire.
Mm-hmm. That's the one. Yeah, any lash artists that are looking for templates, check me out.
And you guys, if you, I don't know if you can still join since it's already started, but I feel like you probably could. The Own Your Future Challenge with Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins is going on for 4 more days. So if you guys want to hop in on that with us, it'd be
yeah. You know what? I'll find the link and I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah.
And then if you guys want to join with us and go for the rest of these 4 days and up level your life, bless you. Own your future with Tony Robbins and a bunch of like other boss babes that are going to be coming on and speaking. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to go before my kid like knocks over all my life. But we love you guys and we will see everybody next week.
Bye.
Bye. Ridiculous.